Hello, good morning, friends. I am Dr. D.N. Pansare, Assistant Professor, Department of Chemistry, Devgiri College, Aurangabad. Today, we have seen the NMR spectroscopy. NMR spectroscopy is an interesting fact in the chemistry. When we synthesize new compounds, then we must know that the spectral characterization knowledge or H1 NMR. First, we will see the outline of the different types of H1 NMR. That is, first point is that the introduction to the NMR, types of NMR, source of NMR, theories, effects of the magnetic field, principle of the NMR, chemical shifts, aqueous of the spectra, C13, H1 NMR, NMR setup, and different types of numericals we will see. Introduction. The nuclear magnetic resonance spectroscopy NMR is a powerful analytical technique used to characterize organic molecule by identifying carbon-hydrogen framework within molecules. It is the research technique that explores the magnetic properties of the certain atomic nuclei. It determines the physical and chemical properties of the atom or the molecule in which they are contained. Two common types of NMR spectroscopy are used to characterize organic structures. H1 NMR used to determine the type and number of the hydrogen atom in the molecules. C13 NMR used to determine the types of carbon atom in the molecules. Source of NMR. The source of energy in the NMR is radio waves which have long wavelength having more than 10 raised to 7 nanometers and thus low energy and frequency. When two energy radio waves interact with a molecule, they can change the nuclear spin of the some elements, including H1 and C13. Theories of NMR. In magnetic field, there are now two energy states for protons, a lower energy state with the nucleus aligned in the same direction as B0, and higher energy state in which the nucleus aligns against B0. When an external energy source that matches the energy difference between these two states is applied, energy is absorbed, causing the nucleus to spin flip from one orientation to another. The energy difference between these two nuclear spin states correspond to the low frequency RF region of the electromagnetic spectrum. When charged particles such as a proton spin on its axis, it creates a magnetic field. Thus, the nucleus can be considered to be a tiny bar magnet. When protons are moved towards this axis and formation of magnetic field, or we call the tiny bar magnet. Normally, these tiny bar magnets are randomly oriented in space. However, in the presence of magnetic field B0, they are oriented with one against this applied field. More nuclei are oriented with the applied field because this rearrangement is lower in energy. The energy difference between these two states is very small, less than 0.1 calorie. This is the diagram of the external magnetic field and absence of magnetic field. A spin proton creates a magnetic field. You can see here, this is the proton, this is the axis, and it revolves like this. When this revolves like this, then it creates magnetic field. Okay. This is a diagram of the nuclear magnet are randomly oriented, that is no external magnetic field. When we apply the external magnetic field, then the nuclear magnet are oriented with or against B, that is the applied magnetic field, its movement on the upward direction or downward direction. A nucleus is in the resonance when it absorbs the radio frequency radiation and spin flip to higher energy state. Thus, two variables characterize the NMR and applied magnetic field B0, the strength of which is measured in Tesla, and the frequency N of the radiations. Thus, two variables characterize NMR in applied magnetic field B0, the strength of which is measured in Tesla T, and the frequency N of the radiation used for the resonance measured in Hertz or megahertz. Absorbing RF radiation causes the nucleus to spin flip. Lower energy state. This is the lower energy state, two energy level, first and second. If it absorbs the energy, then electron goes to the higher energy state. That is, the absorbing RF radiation causes the nucleus to spin. You can see here, this is the upward direction. If they absorb the radiation, then it flips at opposite directions. The frequency needed for the resonance and the applied magnetic field strength are proportionality related, that is mu proportional to mu0. Means frequency increases, the applied magnetic field also increases. The stronger the magnetic field, the larger energy difference between two nuclear spin state and higher the mu needed for the resonance. Both liquid and solid type of the sample can be used in the NMR spectroscopy. This is very useful methods for us because our sample, it may be solid, it may be liquid, does not matter. We can easily analyze this sample. For liquid sample, conventional solution state NMR spectroscopy is used for the analyzing, when as for solid type sample, solid state spectroscopy NMR is used. In solid phase media, sample like crystals, microsatellite, powder, gel anisotropic solution, protein fibers, or all kinds of polymer, etc. can be used. In liquid phase, different types of liquid solution, nucleic acid, protein, carbohydrates, etc. can be used. The sample is dissolved in a solvent, usually CDCl3, that is a deuterochloroform, and placed in the magnetic field. A radio frequency generator then irradiate the sample with a short pulse of the radiation, causing the resonance. When the nuclei fall back to their lower energy state, the detector measures the energy released and the spectrum is recorded. This is the schematic diagram of the NMR setup. You can see this is the two large electromagnet that is south and north. In the middle is sample tube is there. Here the radio frequency generators, here detectors and amplifier. And then we get the idea here, that is the CRT display or computer. This is the schematic presentations. The more energy is created here, electromagnet, okay, it rotates and it irradiates on this sample, then it converted into the spectrum. Principle of the NMR. Proton in different environment absorb at slightly different frequencies, so they are distinguishable by the NMR. The frequency at which a particular proton absorbs is determined by its electronic environment. The size of the magnetic field generated by the electrons around a proton determines where it absorbs. Modern NMR spectrometer used contain magnetic field strength B0, and the then narrows range of the frequencies is applied to achieve the resonance of all protons. Only nuclei that contain odd mass numbers such as H1C13, F19 and P31, or odd atomic numbers such as 2 hydrogen and 14 nitrogen, gives rise to the NMR signal. Here no applied magnetic field, here energy, alpha spin state and beta spin state. Magnetic field is applied. When magnetic field is applied, then some electron are upward direction and some backward direction. The spin state of nucleus is affected by an applied magnetic field. We can see here alpha spin state converted into the beta spin state. Again, this is a reversible reactions occurring and we get signals detected by the NMR. Chemical shift. It is a very important concept in the NMR spectroscopy. So many students does not know what is the chemical shift. Today we can easily understand this concept, that is the chemical shift. So carefully see the definition. The relative energy of the resonance of particular nucleus resulting from its local environment is called chemical shift. NMR spectra shows applied field strength increase from left to right. Left part is downfield, the right is upfield. Nuclei that absorb on upfield side are strongly shielded, where nuclei that absorb on downfield side is weakly shielded. Chart calibrated versus a reference point set as 0 tetramethylsilane TMS. The electrons surrounding a nucleus affect the effective magnetic field sensed by the nucleus. You can see this diagram. This is the downfield region left side, here right side upfield region, shielded nuclei, here deshielded nuclei. Deshielded nuclei value is more than shielded nucleus. Shielded nuclei do not sense as large magnetic field as deshielded nuclei do. As a result, the energy difference between the alpha and beta spin state is much lower in energy for shielded nuclei and resonate at lower frequency. You can see here 60 megahertz large difference, 300 megahertz small difference. This is beta spin state, lower is alpha spin state. Here tau value is 7.046, here 40. Applied magnetic field. Deshielded nuclei have much higher energy difference between the alpha and beta spin state, and these resonate at much higher frequency. Numeric value of chemical shift, difference between the strength of magnetic field at which the observed nucleus resonates and field strength for the resonance of reference. Taken as the ratio, difference is very small but can be accurately measured. Taken as a ratio to the field and multiplied by 10 raised to 6. So the shift is in the part per million. An absorption normally occurs downfield of the TMS to the left to the chart. The received nuclear magnetic resonance response are very weak in the signal and require a sensitive radio receiver to pick up. A Fourier transform is done to exact the frequency domain spectrum from the road time domain spectrum. Good H1 NMR spectrum can be acquired with 16 repeats, which takes only minutes. However, for the heavier elements than hydrogen, acquisition of the quantitative heavy element spectra can be time consuming, taken tens of the minute to hour. Then an average of all the acquired spectrum will be generated and displayed through the graph. C13 NMR spectroscopy. C13 is the only carbon-13 isotopes with a nuclear abundance 1.1 of the carbon in the molecule. Sample is thus very dilute in the isotopes. Sample is measured using the repeated accumulated of the data and averaging of the signals. All signals are obtained simultaneously, used broad pulses of energy and resonance recorded. Frequency repeated pulse gives many set of data that are averaged to the eliminate noise. Fourier transfer of the average pulse data gives spectrum shows in the next slide. This is the C13 spectra. The value is 0 to 200 parts per million. This is the intensity. This is also chemical shift. It increases carbon NMR spectra of 1 pentanol. This is 5 carbon. We get 5 peaks, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. H1 NMR spectroscopy. Proton NMR is much more sensitive than C13, and the actual nucleus H1 is nearly 100% of the natural abundance. Shows how many kinds of non-equivalent protons are in the compound. Theoretical equivalence can be predicted by seeing its replacing each hydrogen, and EX gives the same or different outcome. Equivalent hydrogen have the same signal while non-equivalent are different, and as a such may cause additional splitting diastereotypic effect. Replacement of each hydrogen and X gives a different constitutional isomers. You can see here substitution pattern hydrogen. Here hydrogen means all protons are non-equivalent. We can easily identify by the constitutionally heterotopic environment and will be have different chemical shift. They are non-equivalent under all circumstances. Okay, NMR machines as ICPT. This is type, frequency, magnet, field, resolution, orientation. All parameters are here. Summary. Nuclear magnetic resonance spectroscopy basically provides the details information about the structure, dynamic, reaction state, and chemical environment of the molecules. It has various applications in the food industry, food science, chemical analysis, and the different products, pharmaceutical approach, etc. The analysis, the carbon-hydrogen framework in the molecules is the basic work of the NMR techniques. Okay, these are the references. Thank you very much. I think you got many ideas about the H1 NMR spectroscopy, which is very useful for you. Thank you very much.